Hey everybody, I wanted to make a quick video on how to navigate the internals of the Go runtime. In particular, I want to show you a neat trick to get a good overview over the most important events that are happening in the runtime and how to find their implementation. So let's jump in. Here I have a version of Go checked out from GitHub, and I'm using my editor Vim, but you can also use VS Code or similar. And I'm opening it up. Then I navigate to a file called trace.go, which is located in the directory source/runtime/trace.go. And what I like about this file is that it's basically defining all the event that Go tool trace can emit. And these events are all the important events that are happening in the Go runtime. And you can see all of them listed here. There's a lot of them. And I often like, when I have questions about Go internals, to see if there's an event here that is related to what I'm trying to investigate, because it can quickly get me to the code that I'm interested in. So for example, let's say we want to figure out how Go routines are created and how big their stack size is initially. So the way to do that is we go over the symbol and get all the references to this. Then we follow, sometimes you have to follow a few of the references to find the right place. In this case, it's a third one here. This leads us to a function that is essentially just wrapping the trace event call. So we have to follow up to this again. And this leads us, oops, should have taken the first one, to proc.go. And proc.go is the file that contains a function. I'm going to jump to the top of this function here. This function is called newproc1. And this is the main function that Go uses to allocate new Go routines and starting them. And if we scroll down a little bit, we find this line right here, which is doing the allocation of the stack. And it helps us to quickly answer the question, how big are stacks by default? What's the minimum size? We can do that by just navigating to this symbol. And we see, oh, it's 2048 bytes is the minimum size for a stack in Go. Another quick tip that I want to show you is how to set some environment variables to make hacking on the Go runtime easier and make your tools work better. For that, I use a tool called drn, which you can get from Homebrew, which basically allows you to automatically set environment variables every time you navigate to a directory. So the environment variables that I configure with drn are only active when I navigate into my local checkout of Go. So if I go into the drn edit dot, it basically brings up the .envrc file that has my environment configuration. And what I do here is I export the Go root to be the current directory. This basically makes sure that when I jump to the definition of a symbol in my editor, that the jump doesn't take me to my system version of Go that I also have installed, but instead to the version of Go that's in this directory. And the other thing that I do is I add the bin directory in the Go checkout to my pass. And that makes sure that if I recompile my version of Go that I locally have checked out, then when I run tests or similar things, it will always use this compiled version of Go rather than the system version of Go that is installed. So yeah, these are just two quick tips, but if you want to see more content like this, please leave a like or a comment, which is great motivation to record more videos. Thank you.